My mother passed away early, my father didn't care, and no one in the family liked me. Later, my parents sent me, who was 20 years old, to marry Lin Bingyao, who was 38 years old. It is said that she has been married 3 times and divorced 3 times. The total number of men she has played with can support the entire Guangzhou model market. It was my brother who was supposed to marry her, but he ended up crying, fussing, and wanting to hang himself. Unless he said that he was the president of the student union and had a bright future, he would never marry into such a family. The stepmother then set her sights on me, frowned, and said in a sinister tone, "Since Xiaoxin doesn't want to get married, I'll give you an advantage. By finding you a wife with such good conditions, I can be considered worthy of your old Song family. As for the girl from the Li family who is engaged to you, let your brother marry her. He should be aggrieved and marry a poor girl. Everyone knows that the girl from the Li family is beautiful and is 20 years younger than Lin Bingyao. Only a fool would choose a woman who is nearly 40 years old." I shook my head and refused directly. Mr. Lin is rich and wealthy, which is suitable for my brother's development and progress. I am not worthy. Suddenly, a barrage appeared in front of me. You match, you match. You two are the best match. Silly boy, please promise her. This is your great blessing. That's a female CEO. Normally, she only needs to cook for her and clean up the house, and she can live a prosperous life and avoid 50 years of detours. Barren soil cannot grow delicate roses. The girl of the Li family is a poisonous rose. She will kill you if you get married. Although I don't have great ambitions, I have one advantage. Take advice. 1. Female CEO Lin Bingyao came to the door with a marriage contract and asked Song Xian to marry him. My father and stepmother were very worried. This Lin Bingyao has a domestically abusive husband, a male model who stays over every night, and she is still a 38-year-old leftover woman. No man wants to get married. But the stepmother lost all her money in gambling and got her own son involved. Song Xian rushed back from school, slapped his identity card as president of the college student union on the table, and became extremely angry. I will at least be a department-level cadre in the future, and I will never marry a 38-year-old woman. If you force me, I will die here. Seeing that her own son was seeking death and living, the stepmother couldn't bear to let him go, so she turned her attention to me. Let me marry Song Xian. In this way, they can get Lin Bingyao's money without making their own son suffer. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. My stepmother dragged me and persuaded me earnestly. Siryu, Mr. Lin is a woman who makes a lot of money. Being able to follow her is a blessing earned over several lifetimes. No matter how many people want to marry you, you can't. Your stepmother has tried her best to help you make this marriage happen. When her son heard that he no longer had to marry the old woman, he stopped making trouble, pretended to see everything through, and patted me on the shoulder. We are also doing it for your own good. It's so difficult to make money in today's society, and you don't have the ability, so why not find a rich man to marry you? Dad sat aside and blew out 2 smoke rings leisurely, and nodded nonchalantly. Song Yu, an ordinary 211, will definitely not develop as well as your brother, the student union president of a college, in the future. The competition in today's society is so cruel, so just serve people at home honestly. I was just about to refuse when a line of barrage suddenly lit up in front of my eyes. Silly boy, please agree. The shortcut in life is right in front of you. Just avoid 50 years of detours. By the time everyone else is worrying about making money, you will no longer be interested in money. Although Li Xiu'er is young and beautiful, she has a very bad temper and knows how to spend money. Marry her, and your life will be over. I was stunned for a moment. Could it be that God sent someone to save my miserable life? I quickly asked in my mind. But Lin Bingyao has a tendency of domestic violence. What if he hits me? As expected, the barrage could hear my voice, and the next sentence immediately answered my question. Don't be afraid, you are handsome enough and she won't be willing to hit you. I asked again. Then her 3 husbands all divorced her and lost their dignity as men. That's 2 people cheating on each other and the other one is just not good enough. As long as you get married and take good care of your wife honestly and don't smoke, whoring, or gamble, I will ensure that you'll be prosperous and wealthy for the rest of your life. I was dubious, but decided to listen. I raised my head and nodded gently to my eccentric father, my venomous stepmother, and my younger brother with a bright future. Okay, I agree to marry you. 2. Lin Bingyao was very generous, with a gift of 880,000 yuan, plus a car and a house. It gave me enough face. But this thing that should belong to me has been withheld. Both my stepmother and biological father wanted me to keep the money at home and use it to find a wife for my younger brother Song Xian. The stepfather tapped the table with his fingers that were yellowed by smoke and motioned for everyone to look at him. That's it. It's settled. The rules for marrying into a wife are the same as marrying a girl. You can keep the bride price at home and find a wife for your brother. After saying that, he saw that my face looked a little ugly, and he immediately added, Of course, it's not like we have nothing to offer. Your aunt bought you a car as a dowry, so as not to be looked down upon by others. The words just fell. The stepmother came slowly in from the door on a brand new electric bicycle. There was also a big red flower tied to the car, which looked very happy. The stepmother gave me a rather proud look. Now I don't think any neighbor would dare to say that I treated you badly. This is the custom of marrying a girl here, and all the bride price is left to her mother's family. If she didn't do this, the villagers would call her a white-eyed wolf for raising such a child in vain. The barrage put forward different opinions. 6 Wow, you were planning to sell your son. I want to use a broken tram in exchange for a gift of 880,000 yuan. I heard this plan even from the bad. Their son has no money to get married. Let him earn it by himself. Why should you use your money to marry him a wife? If you agree, you are a complete and hopeless idiot. I thought about it all night, and thought they were right. This is my bride price, my own money. It should be kept in my own hands, and I won't give it to anyone. I raised my head, looked at the family who were about to count the money, and said calmly, Lin Bingyao asked me to take all the betrothal gifts back, otherwise the marriage will not be concluded. As soon as the stepmother heard that she was not allowed to marry into the family, she panicked on the spot when she thought about the gambling debts she owed. He quickly said that he didn't need any gifts, and asked me to take back the electric car they brought as a dowry. Although their biological father and Song Xin were reluctant to leave, they couldn't afford to offend their stepmother. I had to obediently return everything to me. I looked at the hundreds of thousands that suddenly appeared on my bank card, and felt a little more at ease. No matter what, the money received is real. 3. Lin Bingyao was too lazy to hold a wedding because she was afraid of trouble, so she just sent me to the bridal chamber. Looking at the luxurious rooms and exquisite wedding photos, I couldn't help but feel anxious, and I asked the barrage in my mind like this. I'm getting married for Song Xin. Lin Bingyao won't be angry if he finds out, right? It's okay. She can take back control of the Lin family step by step from an abandoned orphan. I've never seen what kind of scheme she has. Just confess to her directly, sincerity is the most touching thing. She originally wanted to find a handsome man who could take care of her, so whoever she led into her marriage was not her bride-in-law. It didn't take long for Lin Bingyao to come back. As expected, he is the president of the company. He has a noble air about him, and he is not angry, but has authority. As a college student who has not yet graduated, I have never seen such a big boss. If I were really asked to go for an interview, I might not even be able to see her face. I mustered up the courage to follow the barrage and directly confessed that I and my brother had exchanged marriages. Lin Bingyao stared at my face for a moment, and then a smile appeared on that delicate face. She came over and stretched out her fingers to hug my chin. Your brother is afraid of me, aren't you? Thinking of the barrage reminder, I directly chose to tell the truth. Afraid, of course. But I'd rather take a gamble than be a coward and suffer their anger for the rest of my life. Besides, as long as I don't cheat, if you want to divorce me, I can still give you some money. And if you leak a little bit between your fingers, I'm afraid I won't be able to make any money in my life. Lin Bingyao laughed dumbly. You are honest, but those seniors before you did not defraud me of money. Seeing her raised fingers and provocative eyes, I didn't hesitate and directly followed the barrage's instructions and kissed her on the mouth. Then let's see if I can let Mr. Lin spend money for me willingly. Lin Bingyao obviously didn't expect that I would be so proactive, but she is also battle-hardened, not to mention that it is her wedding night and she is facing her husband. When the commentators saw my action, they all gave a thumbs up. Wow, I like a host who listens to advice like this. Conquer her with your manly dignity. Make her willing to spend her money on you. Although I was naive, Lin Bingyao was obviously a bit like an old man playing tricks on a naughty boy, and he taught me little by little what to do. Seeing that I couldn't find a place, she giggled happily. Kid, you're not bad, you're very talented. This night was really different from the little movies I watched. It's comparable to being sentenced to prison, and it's more tiring than moving bricks on a construction site for a day. A woman is like a flower that is always short of water, tireless. After tossing until early in the morning and making the bed completely wet, Lin Bingyao rested contentedly. When she got up the next day, her face was much moisturized. He casually took out 2 wads of cash from his bag and threw them on me. Young guys in their early 20s are just different. Make up more and keep it up in the future. I felt a little ashamed, but it was also the first time I had made so much money, and I was even more excited. Lin Bingyao's parents died young, and she had no children. So in this huge family apart from me, there is only one nanny, and there is no messy relationship to deal with at all. Quiet and cozy. The moment I walked out of the house, the barrage above me appeared again. How about it, brothers? I didn't lie to you, right? An old Ferrari is still a Ferrari. In today's world, just tell me who can earn 50,000 yuan a night. Having said that, this is a bit rough. 4. There is a custom here that a man who marries his wife must return home on the 3rd day just like his married daughter. Lin Bingyao was busy negotiating the contract and had no time to accompany me back. She looked at me without any strange color in her eyes, as if to say another ordinary thing. I originally wanted to go back with you, but I really can't get away. I quickly waved my hand and said it was okay. But Lin Bingyao couldn't stand it and was very enthusiastic. He gave me 100,000 yuan and asked me to buy some gifts for my parents. Looking at the extra 100,000 yuan that suddenly appeared on my phone, I laughed from the bottom of my heart. You are busy, you are busy. The company's matters are more important. It's such a small thing like going home. I can just go back by myself. She took a deep look at me, sent me the driver who usually drove her, and then left with peace of mind. He hasn't even graduated from college yet, but he is already worth millions. Who said Lin Bingyao picked it? She is so generous. Her men must have spread rumors before. Barrage. She is indeed very stingy. She is worth several billion and will get rid of you with only 100,000 yuan, but you are too easily satisfied. I sighed softly, hating that iron cannot be made into steel. They are too greedy. They always want to reach the sky in one step, and rich people are not fools. If I spend 100,000 yuan to buy a gift, of course I have to plan it wisely. I was so angry that I bought a whole trunk of snacks. Mai Bei didn't expect that his trunk would be full of snacks for another day. The driver looked at me and hesitated to speak. He mentioned it several times along the way that Mr. Lin had some good cigarettes and wine, and told him to take it as he pleased. I sneered and shook my head in rejection. Do they deserve to drink so well? Spending 10 yuan on a bottle of orange juice makes me feel like I'm losing money. When relatives at home heard that Lin Bingyao was coming, they had already made arrangements. There were loud gongs and drums, firecrackers blasting, red flags waving, and a sea of people. My 7 aunts and 8 aunts all came. Knowing that I had found a billionaire CEO, they all wanted to come and get something. I'm not stingy either. He opened the trunk directly and took a bag of snacks for everyone present. Everyone's hard work is not in vain. This is my little thought for everyone. It is light on etiquette, but heavy on affection. The children were indeed very satisfied with my gifts. But the smiles on the faces of those boring adults froze. "Where's Mr. Lin? Why didn't I come back with you?" I sighed softly and said helplessly, "Mr. Lin is busy making money, otherwise how will he support me? In just a short time, I can probably earn 18 million. 18 million. An ordinary person cannot earn so much money in a lifetime." Their eyes turned red when they heard this, and they asked hurriedly, "Your wife earns so much money, and you bring these things to your elders?" I lowered my head in regret. No matter how much money she makes, it's still hers. Her money is only for men to see, not to spend. "The money I bought for you was earned through my own efforts." I muttered silently in my mind that working hard in bed counts as hard work. After saying that, I smiled to myself. You all think I married into a wealthy family, but you don't know what I faced and what suffering I suffered. Listening to my heartbroken speech, they had nothing to say. The anger in his eyes turned into pity. Someone said, "Hey, who doesn't know that Lin Bingyao is a hardcore man who never gets a penny from his previous 3 husbands? This Song Yu is probably useless, let alone trying to defraud Lin Bingyao out of money." Watching everyone slowly disperse, I smiled sarcastically. They are all here for money, and none of them are good. At the family dinner, my younger brother was the president of the student union in full style. He began to instruct us to sit down and let our father take the main seat, pointing his head towards the elders. After educating the waiter, he started to educate me again, saying that when I attended the party with Mr. Lin, I had some discernment, so I would toast when I needed to. If there is any good way out, don't forget to find some benefits for your relatives at home. I ate the food the whole time, and all his words were ignored by me. No official at all, just useless airs. But when I think about the 7-digit savings in my card, I don't even bother to talk to him about it. If you have money in your pocket, you will naturally be respected. For a person who doesn't even have money, no matter how many rules he talks about, it's still bullshit. During the meal, my father and stepmother refused to give up and pretended to be pitiful, trying to get some money out of me. But unfortunately, I was prepared for it, and I didn't have any money in my body. Even the WeChat balance is only 2.5 yuan. I even asked them for living expenses. But as soon as they heard that I wanted money, their expressions immediately changed. He rushed me out in a hurry and repeatedly told me not to go home if nothing happened. If you marry into the Lin family, you will become a member of the Lin family. It is not good to come back all the time. After hearing this, I felt happy. I wish I would never come back. Never want to see them again. As soon as I walked out, the barrage floated out. Haha, everyone returns home rich and proud, but you are pretending to be poor. My head was shaking like a rattle. None of these relatives wish me well. If I really live a good life, I'm afraid they will be the most uneasy. And they have to find ways to defraud me of my money. Instead of doing this, it's better to pretend to be poor and live in peace. After hearing the barrage, they all agreed. Going home that night, Lin Bingyao came back extra early, changed into a pair of lavender pajamas, and lay leisurely on the bed. Looking at her look like this, it was obvious what she wanted to do. My legs were shaking. I need it every day, and every time it takes half a night. But any normal man can't bear it. No wonder those men before couldn't bear it. I was just thinking of finding a reason to decline. The barrage floated out again. Everyone is eager to want such a seductive beauty. Why are you pushing her away? I curled my lips in frustration. Who can withstand her being so demanding every night, treating me like a donkey? I am both envious and distressed, JPG. But what Lin Bingyao likes is your appearance and body, so if he provides you with delicious food and drink, if you can't even meet her needs, I'm afraid your sponsor mother won't want you. A wry smile appeared on my lips. She keeps doing this every day. Even if I have the will, I can't do it. Do I really need to take some medicine? The barrage was silent for a while, and there were actually people who supported me to take medicine and take good care of Lin Bingyao. At this critical moment, someone silently sent out a barrage. Do you still remember that if the protagonist is obedient and completes the task, you can give him extra points? We can just add all the talent points to physical strength. Everyone suddenly realized it and went to check the long-forgotten talent panel. Not long after, a warm breath came from my lower body, and my condition got better and better. Lin Bingyao looked at the tent that was gradually set up and was very satisfied with his charm. After a while, my mouth was already dry. Looking at the noble-looking beauty in front of me, I could no longer restrain myself. He pounced on him in one fell swoop. She was like a flower eager to be watered a few days ago. Now I am a hungry wild beast, destroying her branches crazily. A few hours later, Chong Ru Lin Bingyao also tugged my arm slightly in a daze. Enough, enough. Are you full? You must know that there are hundreds of billions of contract projects outside, and Lin Bingyao didn't even frown when he signed them. Unexpectedly, he lowered his head in bed. I have the blessing of divine power and am in high spirits, so naturally I am not willing to let go of this great beauty Lin Bingyao easily. He lowered his head towards her mouth and kissed her, fighting for another 300 rounds. The ups and downs made Lin Bingyao completely surrender and lay on the bed, too lazy to move. I had no choice but to carry her to the bathroom to clean her, then wrap her up in a quilt and go back to sleep. Lin Bingyao, however, was like a little woman, holding my neck tightly with both hands and not letting go. One night of warmth. 5. When I woke up the next day, it was already 3 o'clock in the morning. Usually at this time, Lin Bingyao's figure has long disappeared by the bed. But this time not only did it happen, but she wasn't awake yet. Like an octopus, it clings to me. Sure enough, the best way to conquer a woman is to conquer her in bed. But to capture a woman's heart, you still have to capture her stomach. I snuck into the kitchen and cooked a hearty brunch. I had already inquired about Lin Bingyao's preferences before this, and these dishes were specially made according to her taste. Lin Bingyao usually wears a cold suit and doesn't like to talk to me at all, except when he talks to me in bed. But this time when I got up, I was wearing loose pajamas and simply tied my hair into a ponytail. She looks like a stay-at-home daughter-in-law. It made me feel excited and wanted to fight again. Good morning, you were strong last night. Lin Bingyao gave me a thumbs up to show her approval. On the other hand, Dama laughed happily. We have put all the talent points on this. If we don't have the strength, it will be in vain. Hey, have you ever felt that the aloof and noble Lin Bingyao suddenly became a lot gentler? That's right, sexual happiness is the prerequisite for a happy life. I accepted her compliments calmly and took the initiative to pull out a chair and invite her to come and taste my craftsmanship. Lin Bingyao became more and more surprised as she ate. Master Li is a Michelin chef and your cooking is more to my liking than his. From now on, you two will alternate cooking for me. Lin Bingyao changed the subject. In addition, I think your living expenses should also be mentioned. They should be increased from the original 10,000 to 50,000. 50,000 a month, 600,000 a year, 6 million in 10 years. Enough of retirement. I tried to suppress the rising corners of my mouth. Who said wages can't be increased? This is a great increase. I don't have any ambition to steal her company. I just want to stay by her side and save some money. Even if she really divorces me from now on, I will at least have enough food and clothing for the rest of my life. I'm sure about Lin Bingyao's thigh. Lin Bingyao suddenly informed me to drive her to the company and handed her a wad of money, asking me not to refuse. I was not polite at all. I raised my hand and put it in my pocket. Dear Miss Lin, it is my pleasure to serve you. It's not a lie, no one would be happy to see a wad of money. In the car, Lin Bingyao simply wore casual clothes, with her big, white legs exposed, without any scruples. I was confused. Mr. Lin, high-end business people like you should usually wear suits and leather shoes. Is this how you wear it to work? Lin Bingyao looked at the information in her hand without raising her head. Those are not high-end people, they're part-time workers. Who do you see wearing such serious clothes every day when going to your own company? Hiss. It seems right. The slender, white legs were dangling in front of my eyes, and I was already horny inside. If I hadn't been driving the car, I would have pounced on him, and now I could only take advantage of the opportunity. Lin Bingyao wasn't angry at all. He just glanced at me angrily. The barrage left me speechless. Two old perverts get together. You two are a perfect match. One is full of needs, and the other is full of energy. I can't even imagine how fun it would be for you to make love. I only need to send Lin Bingyao to the company, and the rest is none of my business. But it was the first time I entered such a big company, so I inevitably wanted to make a good start. You know, with my own efforts, I probably won't even be able to get through the company's door. Lin Bingyao simply assigned her secretary Xiao Wang to me and asked him to show me around. When I squinted my eyes, I knew something was wrong with Xiao Wang. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later. That's all we know. I asked the barrage in my mind. What's going on? I don't have any grudge against him, right? He is a personal secretary and a handsome guy. You can guess what their relationship is. Now that you have fed Lin Bingyao by yourself, Lin Bingyao doesn't need to look for him at all. You cut off people's wealth and beauty. Who would you hate if you don't? It suddenly dawned on me that no wonder he was calling me brother respectfully, but his eyes wanted to kill me. He may also feel that he is pretending to be good and talking to me enthusiastically. Brother, it's not easy to follow Mr. Lin every day. Mr. Lin is almost 40. Let's be honest, he should look like an old man now. How about asking my brother to take you to be cool? I'm treating you, you don't have to pay for it. I suddenly turned my head to look at him. The purpose was too straightforward. Do you think I'm a fool? Didn't he just want me to cheat on him, and then he would continue to be favored by Lin Bingyao? I waved my hands repeatedly. Brother No, I appreciate your kindness. Along the way, Xiao Wang almost lifted me to the sky. As the saying goes, you can flatter someone even if you wear it, but I really enjoy the feeling of being held up by others. You know, I was bullied almost all the time in the first 20 years. With this moment of success, it's really cool to be praised in the clouds. If I had known exactly how much I weighed, I would have really felt that Lin Bingyao was not good enough for me. Although I clearly refused, he still refused to give up and invited me to experience it several times. The barrage is afraid that I will be tricked, so I remind you frantically. You must not go. If Lin Bingyao finds out about this, you will definitely lose your dignity as a man, your betrothal gift will be returned, and you will also be kicked out. I nodded confidently. Nothing attracts me more than money. But this kid is not a good thing, and staying with Lin Bingyao will inevitably be a disaster. I asked Damaku if I could use the trick to get rid of him. The barrage was stunned for 2 seconds, and then everyone sent out emoticons with thumbs up to express praise. Congratulations to the host. You have changed from an innocent boy to a villain. I shook my head. How can he be considered a villain? It seems that this man is dishonest. If he catches the disease and then infects Lin Bingyao, I will not be spared. I call this self-defense, protecting yourself. After saying that, I immediately turned on the video recording on my phone, preparing to keep evidence. When Xiao Wang saw that I had this intention, he immediately drove and prepared to leave. Along the way, I asked him if he still went out to play often after getting together with Lin Bingyao. He didn't seem to expect that I would actually record. Nothing was hidden. Everything was revealed. I was very satisfied with what I heard. When we arrived at the place, he named the best and youngest ones to come and serve me. I said I have no money. He grinned at me and took out a black card. It's okay, Mr. Lin has money. Spend other people's money to find your own woman. This guy is interesting. Seeing that I was hesitant, he immediately called the two beauties and held each other by his side. It's okay, brother. I come here often and Mr. Lin won't find out. No wonder all those men before were divorced. It was indeed not easy to be her husband. I immediately took out my cell phone while he was not paying attention and fixed the camera on the moment when he was holding the beautiful woman in his arms. Along with the recording, I sent it to Lin Bingyao. A beautiful woman led me into the room, and I was still sitting on the chair, motionless. There are probably more cameras in this room than there are for filming movies. If I really do something else, I'm afraid the photo will be placed on Lin Bingyao's desk immediately. A moment later, a cry of surprise erupted from the next room. Even though the room was very soundproof, his screams were heartbreaking. Xiaowan was fired by Lin Bingyao, his high-paying job was gone, and he never had the chance to get close to Lin Bingyao. Lin Bingyao even came over personally and gave him a slap in the face, telling him to get away as far as he could. I held Lin Bingyao's hand with an aggrieved look. I said I won't come, because I only have you in my heart, but he insisted that I come. Lin Bingyao's eyes were gloomy and he looked uncertain. When the barrage saw Lin Bingyao's expression, they all started to guess. It's over, brother. Lin Bingyao has seen through your little thoughts. You were planning to take advantage of him, and you even drove away the people around her without authorization. My heart skipped a beat. I'm not afraid. I didn't cheat on you. The worst case scenario is to divorce me, and I can still keep $1 million, which is better than him messing around and infecting me with the disease. When we got home, there were only 2 of us left in the house. She looked at me with cold eyes that made me shudder. I was the first to speak up and confess. I did set up a plot against him, but he did mess around. You are not afraid of catching the disease, but I am afraid that I will catch the disease. Besides, no man is willing to share his wife with others. It's not like I can't satisfy you. Lin Bingyao seemed to have heard some funny joke. He looked at me with a hint of sarcasm. I've had sex addiction since I was a child. I want it every day, and it takes a long time every time. I had to choose male models and change husbands everywhere, just because of this. But there was still no man who could satisfy me. She glanced at me up and down. You do have some strength, but can you ensure that you have energy every day and can be like last night? Although I have been full of energy recently, no one can guarantee whether I will still have such thoughts in the future, so I can only ask the barrage. Brother, we have put all your talent points into your energy and body. You can safely and boldly guarantee it. Men, never say no at any time. With their guarantee, I feel confident. His big hands directly hugged Lin Bingyao's slim waist. What if I say I can do it? Lin Bingyao's charming eyes were full of teasing. Okay, if you can be the groom every night, I can promise that you won't find anyone else. And don't you like money? As long as you satisfy me, I can give you 100,000 in one night. I couldn't hear the rest of the words clearly. Only Lin Bingyao's muffled hums were left. 6. For several years, there was not a single night without regrets. It comes in the evening, and it comes again in the morning. Although Lin Bingyao still looks like a cold female CEO outside, she behaves like a little woman at home. Apart from not letting me touch the company, you can say that everything else will go along with me. Gee, it's much easier to serve someone than to go to work and make money. At 10 o'clock in the morning, I slowly got up from bed and ate the brunch that had been prepared long ago. I plan to go to the mall to buy some clothes for Lin Bingyao first, and then travel abroad with her in 2 days. These little days are extremely pleasant. Unexpectedly, I just arrived at the mall and planned to ask the security guard to park the car. But he saw Song Xayan, the younger brother of the student union president whom he hadn't seen for a long time. He was wearing a wrinkled suit, carrying formula and diapers in his hand, and was arguing with the security guard. I parked for 40 or 50 minutes for over an hour, and you want 2 hours of parking fees from me? Sorry, sir. If it exceeds 1.5 hours, we will calculate it as 2 hours. After struggling for a long time, Song Xayan finally reluctantly paid 10 yuan. Watching Song Xayan worry about $10. When I think about my Maybach, it costs more than 10 yuan when I step on the accelerator. Fortunately, I listened to the advice and chose Lin Bingyao. The old saying is indeed true: listen to others and eat enough. After thinking about it, I bought some rice, flour, grain, oil, and milk powder for my child, and secretly followed him home. The originally spacious compound turned into 2 small bungalows in a remote area. I heard that it was because Song Xayan vowed to succeed and chose to stay in the provincial capital. My parents sold everything they had, including their house, to get the down payment for a house in the provincial capital. As a result, he had been preparing for the exam for 3 years and failed to even pass the written exam. His parents had no choice but to lend him money to find a wife, thinking that they would be able to stabilize themselves by getting married first. It turns out that the Li family girl is not a fuel-efficient lamp. She has nothing to do all day long, and only knows how to spend money to travel. After spending all the betrothal gifts, he thought Song Xayan was incompetent and decided to divorce him. The child belongs to Song Xayan, and she wants nothing. Song Xayan has to raise a child and pay off a car and house loan. In desperation, I had to sell the house. But the housing prices have been sluggish recently. Even if I sell, not only will I not get any money, but I will still owe a bank loan. Now, he doesn't say that he is the president of the student union, nor does he say that he will be the director of the department in the future. Every penny earned must be broken in half and spent. His mother also changed from the woman who knew how to gamble every day to a vicious and resentful woman who took care of her children at home every day. As soon as he opened the door, he saw Song Exayan coming back and pointing at him and scolding him. You call yourself a useless thing. I told you to marry me, but you didn't listen. It's a shame that I believed your lies and treated your junior college student union president as a person. After scolding Song Exayan, he turned to look at his father beside him. The same goes for you, it's useless. You can't make any money, and your own son has married into such a big boss, so you can't go and order some. Dad still took 2 puffs of dry cigarette. When we forced him away, why didn't you say he was my biological son? Now that people are getting better, if you want to ask for money, you are too useless. I looked outside the door, feeling a little depressed. After all, he didn't push the door open and just put the things he bought at the door. After thinking about it, I stuffed another 20,000 yuan into the bag. It can't be of much help, so they won't starve to death. I drove a luxury car, with the brand name clothes I bought for Lin Bingyao in the trunk, stepped on the accelerator, and drove away. Everyone has their own destiny and they all make their own choices, but you must listen to advice when it's time to do so.